Good morning, St. Lucia, and welcome to This Morning Waking Up in the Know with me, Jenna and Gasto. It's always a pleasure to be here. It is June 14th, 2016, and yes, the month is going by pretty quickly. In the headlines, or a recap of last evening's headlines, the OECS Commission officially launched activities marking the 45th anniversary of the Eastern Caribbean of the OECS on Monday. The launch took the form of a virtual media simulcast held at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's satellite office in member states of the sub-regional grouping.
The launch brought together the heads of the various OECS institutions, along with the OECS Chairman and OECS Director General. In attendance were representatives of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Regulatory Authority, the OECS Supreme Court, the Central Bank, and the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority. The launch was an opportunity to apprise the media of some of the activities planned for the anniversary.
One of the exciting projects will be the launch of a 6-part series on the founding fathers of the OECS, which Mr. Earl Huntley of St. Lucia is putting together. So we're really looking forward to that, because the persons who have really established the OECS, a pity some of them are already dead, but he's gotten some of those who are still alive to do this documentary.
One of the areas of focus during this anniversary year is media awareness and public perception of the organization. The OECS Commission has determined that in order to support the implementation of the revised Treaty of Bastia, it needs to ensure greater awareness of the OECS Economic Union among OECS citizens. To that end, it will be putting out a number of public education products and engaging the mainstream media a lot more.
In this year of the 35th anniversary, we're going to be putting in place a new platform for media and communication that will provide regular updates on all of what is happening in the Commission and in the different institutions. We are working together on a converged platform, so we won't be working in silos. You'll be hearing what the Central Bank is doing, what the Commission is doing, the Supreme Court is doing, and be kept abreast of these developments as they happen.
The Commission is planning specialized e-newsletters targeting specific interest groups like the private sector, looking at issues affecting those market segments. Also this year, the Commission hopes to further solidify Martinique's involvement in the OECS. Martinique became an associate member of the OECS in February this year. Since then, officials have been holding discussions on areas of mutual interest.
Martinique presented a very concrete program of collaboration that they would like to see put in place on an accelerated footing. So they are very keen on moving quickly to make things happen. And I think that's a good sign.
The treaty establishing the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, was signed on June 18, 1981 by 7 member states in Bastia, the capital city of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Martinique is the first territory to join the OECS. For the DBS News World, Melissa Paul reporting.
And surgeons from St. Jude and Victoria Hospital are having their skills in laparoscopic surgery refined through a 3-day workshop. The workshop is taking place ahead of major surgeons conference to be hosted here in the Caribbean College of Surgeons.
Laparoscopy, also known as diagnostic laparoscopy, is a surgical diagnostic procedure used to examine the organs inside the abdomen. It is a low-risk, minimal invasive procedure. Only small incisions are made. Laparoscopy uses an instrument called a laparoscope to look at the abdominal organs. The donation of laparoscopy equipment and instruments, in addition to the techniques taught at this week's workshop, are expected to significantly improve the quality of care at both hospitals.
It was a necessity. We've been operating almost call it prehistorically before operating with large incisions. We know the laparoscopic surgery would improve patient care and the recovery time. Remember, we're in a temporary location and we need to get the patients home as soon as possible. So it actually helps us out, and the hospital stay has been cut by almost 60 to 70%, and we think it's beneficial to our patients and our institution.
Laparoscopic surgery has become the preferred method for performing many general surgery procedures. Unfortunately, the cost of the equipment used has been prohibitive for the local medical facilities.
Laparoscopic surgery adoption in St. Lucia has been hampered because of the cost of the equipment. And Dr. Richard Burt took it on himself to invest quite a significant sum of money towards the purchase of this equipment. And this has allowed us to offer this surgery to patients at St. Jude Hospital. In fact, we have already done approximately 6 cases through this generous offering of Dr. Burt, who I think should be recognized as, you know, one of the visionaries in this field.
The expectation is that as surgeons get more training in advanced laparoscopy, that they will perform the majority of their surgical procedures using the technique. For the DBS News World, Kendall Burton reporting.
Welcome back, St. Lucia. It is now time for your daily horoscope. Aries. The astral energy will have you reminiscing all day long over childhood memories. These memories will take you to the houses and places where you were raised and where your personality and character were formed. Many memories will surface, happy, melancholy, and everything in between. Taurus. You love meeting people others might consider eccentric. You can't help it. You're simply attracted to them. You will probably cross the path of one of these people today, but you might have a feeling of deja vu. Gemini. You have always tried to build up your health using traditional methods, and you take great care of yourself. But this morning you might feel a little curious. Indeed, there are so many different courses of treatment available. Why not inquire about alternative forms of medicine? Cancer. Sometimes it's amazing to see how your relationships can spin so easily out of control. Today you may have to deal with a lot of tension within your group. You'll almost feel as if no one understands the situation. You just need to keep your cool. Leo. You sometimes have difficulty making up your mind. You don't always know exactly what you want. But today, Leo, you'll be at peace with yourself. If you need to make an important decision concerning your private life, you'll be able to do it. But if you find yourself confronted by a big decision, you should take the time to think about it. Virgo. Sometimes we are all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Virgo. Sometimes we all feel a little lost. We often want to move mountains and use all energy and enthusiasm to try to do so. But a few moments later, we could feel that all efforts have been in vain. Libra. You have a natural ability to accomplish a great deal rather easily, but today you may feel snowed under the projects. Things around you might be moving quickly and perhaps you having difficulty dealing with it all. Scorpio. Your day has finally come. You have your own vision or life. You like sharing it with others. You're far from thinking that you're any sort of new messiah, but you feel the need to talk to children or young people about your views. Sagittarius. Today you'll have the strange feeling that something is floating in the air. The time is right to try to understand the different needs of your family circle. There will be a lot of movement around you, so you should feel free to step back. Capricorn. As the dawn of another quiet and peaceful day appears, you will be in the best disposition to observe and appreciate the lightness of things. Life can seem so beautiful on some days. You will benefit from this state of mind because you'll be able to mediate. Aquarius. You will find a clean page on the agenda today. You should try to think about yourself. This will allow you to meditate about your life and be at peace with yourself. Life will seem much simpler. The frame of mind will enable you to solve issues which some of your personal ties if you desire. Pisces. You will wake up today on cloud 9. Your moral is at peak. You will feel totally free and be able to clearly perceive the essentials of life. You have the perfect opportunity to share this gift from the stars with your loved ones. That has been your daily horoscope for today, June 14th, 2016. When we come back, I'm going to visit a oldie, but it's a goodie. Welcome back, guys. So like I said before, I'm gonna visit an oldie, but it's a goodie. When I was actually first planning the show with DBS, I went out and did a couple features as my pilot project, and I never really got to show in depth of what it was. So one of them featured Tariba Hingson de Maciento, who is Miss Membet herself, and that was such an incredible shoot. Let's take a look. She's going to show us exactly how she makes her bags actually.
Basically, this is where I prep my bags. This is my mother's kitchen, I'm not ashamed to say so. I use her countertop and I prep my bags here. Essentially, a bag is glued before it's sewed. So this is how I prepare the outside of my bag. I cut all my pieces in either Pellon or buckram or anything that's stiff so that the bag can have a little bit of stiffness in it. And then I glue it all together and then I sew, essentially. But the gluing part and the prepping part takes much longer than the actual sewing part. This is really the part I don't quite like doing. I just like to sit and sew. And usually I would have help with the prep part, but my trusty sidekick is on sick leave right now, so I have to do it myself. My daughter especially loves to sit with me in the sewing room and pretends to make Membet bags. I give her like a bottle of glue and my scrap leather, and she sticks stuff together and she acts like she's making bags, and she can spend quite a bit of time with me quite happily. My son pops in and out. He will stay with me as long as he has something else to play with, like my phone or his toys or something. But in terms of making bags, not so much. But that may change, right, Elvio? Yeah? All right. Well, what I do teach them is how to recognize it for sure. Maybe not making it just yet, but I show them, like I take them with me to sell all the time, especially. I let them see that there is a purpose to what I'm doing. There's an end goal that Membet pays for things. So I take them to sell with me, I make them sell. Also, I take them to my outlets wherever I sell them and I say, what is that on the wall? And they say, it's a Membet bag. So they have that recognition. They know what is a Membet bag and what's not, which is good. Some bags require more prep than others. Some bags, I prep it today and then I sew it tomorrow because after the prep, I'm so exhausted. Other bags, the prep time doesn't take that long and I can prep and make it in one sitting, but it just depends on my mood. It depends on the kids. It depends on whether or not Elvio eats all his food, and I don't have to keep reminding him to finish his food. You gonna finish your food, Elvio? So basically, this bag I'm making is for Journée Creole. And I'm making a variation of a bag I did for myself to travel that everybody liked, and it's part of my masquerade line. So I'm incorporating the madras in it, and it's going to have fringe. Because I'm not a big designer, I have to. You need an eraser? Okay, Mom will get it for you just now. This bag has fringe on it and I have to actually make the fringe myself because this is not a multi-million-dollar production. So I have to mark it to make sure the fringe is straight. Where I'm going to cut. You never want to put ink on your leather. There are special leather pens you can use that can wipe away, but you know, it doesn't work on all leather, and sometimes you think you have a certain type of leather and you really don't, and you put the ink on it and then suddenly it doesn't come out and your whole bag is ruined because ink can never come off of leather. Ink. Elvie is still not eating because Elvie doesn't want to go to the birthday party today. That's okay.
So we're seated in the little office where everything happens, office slash washing room slash storeroom slash Membet's
My workshop.
And I'm here with Miss Membet herself, and so we've seen the demonstration outside, and this is where she comes in to actually sew the bags. So now she's going to take us through that process. So tell us what happens here.
Well, essentially, because the bag is glued, it's not going to shift while I am sewing it. So now I just have to sew down the leather, attach the two sides, and then do the lining. Like I said, the sewing is the easier part in terms of just going right through. But then that would be the part where you would get the most technical difficulties, such as like maybe the needle it's gotten dull.
Right.
Or it has, you go off course with the stitching. And with leather, it's very difficult because if you make a mistake, you essentially have to toss the leather out and put a fresh piece of leather because it leaves holes. It's not like fabric, right? And then the needle is a very big needle, so you can imagine the size of the hole it leaves. So as much as it's the easiest part, it's really the part where you have to pay attention the most.
Take the most time.
Yeah, take the most time. I sew a little faster than I should, but...
Now you speak of the leather. Tell us, where do you get your leathers from? Because we know we don't have these leathers here.
No, I import all of my leather. Different places. Because I work with different types of leathers depending on what I would like to make. So most of my cross bodies and my clutches, I work with the lambskin leather, the sheepskin leather, because it's nice and soft.
Right.
Yeah, and people like that about Membet, because usually when you buy a leather bag, they use the harder, the stiffer leathers, but I like to use the soft leather because it's more feminine, it's more dainty, it's less heavy, especially if you're going to have a crossbody or a clutch or something,
right.
And I mean, leather is leather, so it's still going to be durable regardless of the fact that it's a softer leather.
Now tell us about Membet. What is Membet?
What is Membet? Membet is my baby. Membet is just an idea I had that I ran with. I mean, the name, I wanted a local name that people would remember. Funny enough, everyone calls me Mimi or Mimi BT.
Right.
No one quite got it. However, once you get it, you don't forget it. And just the name alone is a pun on the fact that I work with different types of leathers, because leather is skin. I can use the leather with the hair on. Therefore, you can continue the phrase. I will not. But that is Membet. Membet is a brand that makes practical bags, simple designs, easy to wear. I always say I put practicality first before I think about having anything too stylish, because your bag is your tool. You want it to look nice on you, but it needs to work, it needs to be functional, it needs to have the pocket where the pockets need to be. And the fact that I am a small operation allows me to tailor and tweak my designs to allow people who say, can you just make mine with a pocket here instead? Can you make mine with a longer strap? That sort of thing. So you actually have a bag that you can use and it serves its purpose.
There's so much more for us to learn from Tariba when we come back. Stay tuned because the interview continues. Welcome back, guys. So I've been showing you some unseen footage of Membet's documentary that I did a couple months ago with Tariba, even before she launched her website, and we actually had a wonderful day together, me, her, and the kids, and she was showing me exactly how to do her bags, and just basically two girls having a nice conversation. And we get back into the interview to continue. How does your family feel about Membet just blowing up in your mom's kitchen? I know. Say.
My mother loves it. My mother really loves it. I mean, her mother, Regina, was, the best seamstress in St. Lucia in her day. I mean, my grandmother was a superstar. My grandmother was sewing for Queen shows. Her dress was the winning dress. My grandmother taught Queen Esther to sew.
Okay.
And let me tell you, we know how good Queen Esther is. Even Vincent McDoon used to be at my grandmother's home learning to sew. So seeing that skill being passed down to a grandchild, my mother just loves it. And my aunts would pass and see me sewing, and they'll pass and they'll shout, "Regina!" You know, they do that all the time. So yeah, I mean, I can get, if I decided, listen, I'm going to quit my day job and I'm going to do Membed full time, I don't think my mother would say, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. She will start saying, okay, let's crunch the numbers, so what's on, you know, maybe you need to take on somebody. She'll actually think about it and see the potential in that idea.
So Teriba has a day job.
I do have a day job. I have a very important day job. I have a lot of responsibility in my day job. Unfortunately, I really love my day job. You know, if I was stuck somewhere that I did not enjoy, I probably would have left. But I make my co-workers make you want to come to work every day.
Okay.
So I love my day job. I feel like I'm doing a national service in my day job. And I also feel I'm doing a national service with Membed. And even in my day job, I get a lot of support in terms of merging my current work and merging the potential of the fashion industry in St. Lucia and how it can become an industry of national priority and how we can leverage the industry to build the economy and create jobs. I feel like they understand the input I can provide and they're very supportive of me, and I think that I can actually merge the two.
Okay.
I can merge the two. So far it's working to my benefit, because I feel like apart from just being an entrepreneur and building my business, I would like to be also a champion of the industry. I want to be a champion not only of the fashion industry but the creative industry, so people can actually understand that this is where the young people want to work. Stop forcing us to do jobs we don't want to do. As much as things are hard, it is not fair to us to say, look, a job, take it, you have no choice. Create the environment to allow us to thrive in what we are good at and what we enjoy doing. It will be better for us.
All right, great. And so how many orders of Membed bags do you get on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis, I'm trying to move away from that. I am trying to just make bags. I'm trying to change my business model because I still need to be profitable. And whereas before I would work a lot on a, like, you know, you put in an order for a specific bag, making a new bag each time is very time consuming. So if I have to remain profitable, people essentially going to have to buy what I got. So that's the model I'm trying to move into now. Maybe I can change the color for you if I have it. If I have the style and you want it in a different color and I have the materials, I could do that.
So you're stockpiling now?
It's small quantities. I have a very lean operations because I want to have a very high turnover rate, because when I have a lot of bags, I get so sick of seeing them in my eyes. So when I stockpile, it's very small quantities. I just post them on Instagram or Facebook and then they sell. And I also provide St. James Club gift shop. I also provide the tamarind seed in Barbados, Sea Island cotton. So I also have wholesalers that I need to give.
And what do you think, what would you say is the most popular bag?
My clutch, my signature clutch.
Your signature
My
clutch.
signature clutch is my popular bag. Every time I do a new line, it always has my signature clutch in it because people just love it. It's the first bag that I ever designed, and so it means a lot to me. So
is it your favorite, or it is actually the crowd's favorite?
It's the crowd's favorite. You cannot go wrong with that clutch. I know people who have it in several colors. It is definitely a crowd favorite.
And I just want to bring to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, you know you're a true St. Lucian when your work containers are sunflower butter spread. I know each family has one.
We're stush here. This is cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. When you use your Ferrens Dairy ice cream, that's right.
My Revlon Color Silk glue bottle. Reuse, recycle, reduce.
Reuse, recycle. So that's it. You know you homegrown when you find these items in your workshop. But Teresa, let me just tell you, thank you so much for inviting us to your home.
It was a pleasure having you.
With your family, and bringing us into your workshop and showing us how to make these bags. And I know when we meet again, you will show us the end product.
Yes, definitely.
And I look forward to your Madras line. We will be in October.
Yes, very soon. I need to get on it. I need to get on it because, you know, Limited back in was limited back in 2012 for Membet is not limited now in 2015.
Right.
So I need to rethink my numbers and probably do a little more, but it's still going to be limited.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I look forward to see you and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, stay tuned because when we come back, we have Tariba with the end product. And there you have it, guys. That was it. I just want to say a special thank you to Tariba for having me at your home with your kids and your mom and everyone. I want to wish you all the best of luck. Since then, Tariba has launched her online store. She has had a documentary come out with her and Fiona Compton at the Jamaican Fashion Week. They've been here on my show with James Wavemaker. So Tariba is doing big things. Yeah, she won Entrepreneur of the Year as well, Chamber of Commerce Awards. And this was actually before that. So there you have it, guys. A very, very hard worker, and it's always a pleasure to feature her on my show. Till tomorrow, I'll see you back here, same place, same time. Bye bye.